Even as these laptops become more and more comparable, the MacBook Air versus Pro debate continues to evolve at a remarkable rate. With the help of Apple chips and the Magic Keyboard, both of these Apple laptops are now better than ever. Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. For this video, we will discover MacBook Pro versus MacBook Air 2021. But before anything else, please leave a like on the video. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and click the notification bell down below so you won't miss our videos. Without any further ado, let's hop on right to the video. Design. The M1 MacBook Air and Pro both have machined aluminum shells and are available in silver or space grey. They all include a little lip on the front of the base that allows you to effortlessly expose the screen. The Air has always had a tapered wedge shape. The new MacBook Pros feature minimal bezels and a separate function row instead of the touch bar. We say good riddance. The 1080p webcam has its own notch at the top, but it's not too noticeable. According to the latest renders, the MacBook Air could have reduced bezels and a notch for the camera, while the teardrop, more like a wedge than a rectangle. The shape of the MacBook Air is iconic. Most favourite feature is the gold colour option, which is far more appealing than the light and dark silver alternatives. Ports. The new MacBook Pros include the most connectors, including a HDMI port and a slot for an SD card. The MacBook Air isn't the ideal pick if you need lots of ports. Only two Thunderbolt 3 USB-C ports are available on the M1 powered 13-inch MacBook Pro. 3 Thunderbolt 4 connections, a HDMI port, and an SD card slot are included in the new 14-inch and 16-inch MacBook Pros. There's also MagSafe charging. Display. While the Retina displays on the MacBook Air and 13-inch MacBook Pro are both brilliant and vibrant, there's one reason to choose the Pro: brightness. According to lab tests, the MacBook Pro Air M1 has a maximum brightness of 365.8 nits, but the M1 MacBook Pro 13-inch 434.8 nits has a higher brightness. However, they are more similar in terms of color output. Our colorimeter gave the Air M1 a 114.3% sRGB rating, which is somewhat higher than the M1 13-inch Pro's 110.6%. With their Liquid Retina XDR panels, the new MacBook Pros take display quality to the next level. They have a brightness rating of 1000 nits and use mini LED technology for better color and contrast. A 120Hz ProMotion display is also included for improved performance. Touch bar and keyboard. All MacBooks come with the Apple's Magic Keyboard, which provides excellent tactile performance and comfort. The MacBook Air lacks a touch bar, although the 13-inch MacBook Pro does, and this OLED bar isn't particularly useful. The 14-inch MacBook Pro and 16-inch MacBook Pro both abandoned the touch bar in favor of a dedicated function row of conventional keys, which is possibly telling. Performance. In testing, Apple's promises of dramatically enhanced performance in the M1 base MacBook Air and Pro were confirmed. The new MacBook Air M1 16GB RAM scored 5,962 on the Geekbench 5 benchmarks, while the new MacBook Pro M1 16GB RAM scored 5,925. They haven't tested the new MacBook Pros yet, although they promise to be significantly faster. The M1 Pro version of the MacBook Pro has 10 cores, up from 8 on the M1, and a 16-core GPU, up from 7 cores. For example, Apple claims that the MacBook Pro 2021 features a CPU that is up to 70% quicker. The M1 Max chip supports up to 64GB of unified memory and a 32-core GPU in both the 14-inch and 16-inch MacBook Pros. Battery life. Apple's switch to its own M1 CPUs has also resulted in significant improvements in battery life. On the battery test, web surfing at 150 nits, the M1 MacBook Air lasted 14 hours and 41 minutes, while the M1 Pro lasted even longer. Both times blow away the 16-inch MacBook Pro. The new MacBook Pro 14-inch and 16-inch laptops, which are rated for 17 hours and 21 hours respectively, promise even more endurance. Audio. While the MacBook Air and 13-inch MacBook Pro have excellent stereo sound, the new MacBook Pros are a cut above. Because the 14-inch and 16-inch MacBook Pros have a 6-speaker configuration, this is the case. For an even more robust audio profile, you now get additional bass as well as an octave lower sound. Furthermore, rather than simply headphones, the new MacBook Pros enable Dolby Atmos in speakers. Price and value. With a starting price of $999, the MacBook Air remains the best deal, and it offers more bang for your buck in terms of performance than the 13-inch MacBook Pro. Although the 13-inch Pro has a longer battery life, it may not be enough to justify the $1,299 price tag. The 14-inch MacBook Pro is more expensive than the 13-inch, but you get a lot for your $1,999. A significantly faster M1 Pro chip, a larger and superior 14-inch mini LED display with a 120Hz refresh rate, a sharper 1080p camera, and more ports are all included. However, you'll probably require a tough job to realise all of these advantages. The 16-inch MacBook Pro is the ultimate Apple laptop for those who require the largest display, and it costs $2,499 to boot. You'll also get a battery that lasts longer. Which do you consider to be the best? Let us know in the comment section below. That's it for today. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on that notification bell so you never miss out on any future content we'll produce for you guys. We're signing off now, but we'll be sure to catch you all in the next one.